Hello everyone, and welcome back to Niche. And before we really get going, I actually want to talk to you guys about something. So, the series has felt like it's going really slowly, and I don't know if that's just me or if you guys have felt that too. But I feel like it's really just kind of dragging along, and that's not good. That's not what I'm going for. I want to try and have a more dynamic, active series that you guys can be engaged in, and maybe it's not going to take so long. And I know you guys are all excited to see the jungle, but frankly, trying to get the genetics to get us there, it's taking a really long time. So the question I want to raise to you guys is, because also it seems to have bogged down the story a little bit. There really hasn't been that much of a story element in it recently, and I think a lot of that is to do with the fact that we're basically just trying to breed for certain genetics, especially the kind of genetics like these guys have, like Lara and Rota have. So that seems to really have bogged us down. And what I want to ask is if you guys would be okay with me going on ahead and doing a lot of work off camera to just try and get some of the genetics bred in. And that would mean we would jump in again when we are a lot closer to, or we might pop in every day or so and I could just show you what I've been doing with the tribe. And we would get to the point of being able to go to the jungle island a lot faster, and you wouldn't have to sit here and watch me get through 3 turns in 20 minutes because our tribe is so freaking huge. So I'm going to put that up to a poll. Make sure you go ahead and vote in that, because I just really feel like the series is starting to drag, and I don't want that. I don't want it to be something where it's going to be boring for you guys, and I feel like if it's dragging out, and I that might just be me, but if it does feel like it's dragging out to you too, please let me know, because I don't want it to be just dragging around and not, to the point of it getting slow and old and boring, if you know what I mean. So let me know what you think about that, and let me know if you would like to see me go ahead and do some of the work for the series off camera, so that we can get to the jungle island a little faster, because that's where things will really start to get interesting. So with that in mind, we'll still go ahead and have an episode today. I may shorten it just a little bit because I don't know, I just feel like it's getting really slow. And if you guys are okay with that, that is perfectly fine. But if you're not, I don't want to be the cause of you guys losing enthusiasm or anything like that, because I'm taking forever to get stuff done. It's just hard when you have 71 creatures to breed and figure out what you're doing with everybody and make sure everybody's gathering enough food for the tribe. It's hard to get that all done in a given turn. So anyway, that's the PSA. There will be a poll for you to vote on in the description, and then Niche will go on break for the weekend and we'll be back Monday. Don't fear, we will definitely be back in Niche no matter what you decide, but I just want to let you, I want to know what you guys want to see, whether you want to see every depth and detail of what I do, or if you'd rather see the progression, because, I don't know. I just get a little worried that if there's not progression, it will start to dampen you guys' enthusiasm. So anyway, with that out of the way, let's go ahead and we'll do at least a couple of turns and just try and especially start getting Lara and Rota breeding. So we'll go ahead and start that now. So I'm going to actually start a new day as well. And here we go. So, oh dear. It's a drought. That's gonna be fun. So, Rota, he is sick, so we definitely want to... What is this? Distasteful appearance. Okay, the warning dots, because it makes him look poisonous. So we're actually gonna bring Rota over here, and he can do some collecting there, but then we're gonna breed him and Lara. And, we will continue... So, Cookcook here did not get the lean body that Lara has. That's what a lot of the reason we're breeding them, is because Lara has that lean body, and that is a very desirable trait. It's a very helpful trait, and it will help make sure that they can move fast. So one thing I do want to clarify as well is a couple of you guys, I think, misinterpreted a little bit what I said in the last one. So I talked about breeding for strength, and yeah, what you guys said about you're gonna need more speed and more blending in rather than fighting. Yeah, that's definitely true. I'm not trying to negate that, but what I'm saying is there are certain instances where you need to have strength. So for example, I do know that there is an enemy in the jungle that it does help to be able to fight not one of the apes, but another enemy, and I don't want to spoil it too much, and this bunny just ate our hard-earned food. as did this one. We're gonna kill it. But so I'm not talking about the apes when I say fighting, but there are certain things that do in the jungle that do make it wise to have some creatures that have a little more strength, so that they can go around, and if some of your creatures get in a jam, they can help them get out. So when I say breeding for strength, I don't mean we're going to have our whole tribe be full of fighters. What I mean is we're going to get to the jungle island, and once all that happens, once we get there, once everybody is settled in and we have a well-established tribe that is good at hiding and blending in, then we will look into breeding up a few fighters and have maybe one colony of creatures that are better at fighting that will kind of be the defenders if we do need defending and we do have the chance to fight. And speaking of defending, this has happened. So we're actually going to bite the carnivore a couple of times, and then Kirta is going to scoot the heck out of here. And that is pretty much exactly what I'm talking about. He has... how much move does he actually have? He has 4 movement. So this carnivore should not be able to reach him. So if you end up with, because he does have the webbed hind legs, but if you end up with the ideal combination, which would be double runner leg, which would give 1 speed each, the normal hind legs, which we'd have to go, who has them here in this tribe? There's really not many creatures that do. Someone had mutated them. These guys do. Kukukir has the normal hind leg, gives an additional 2 speed, so that's 4. And then if you get the lean body, like Lara has, that's an additional 2 speed, so that's 6 speed. That means you can move 6 tiles at once. It's pretty powerful. It's honestly very powerful. So that is why we're going to try and breed for that, because ultimately, yeah, we are going to have more creatures that run away than creatures that stand and fight. But we do want to eventually breed in a few creatures that will stand and fight, because there are going to be some dangers that we will want to try and take out. And we will see when we get there. Also, the thing is, the apes. The apes are the major danger in the jungle, and most of you guys seem to know about them already, so I don't really have an issue talking about them. Normally I try not to spoil things, but it's really not spoiling if everybody already knows. So you guys all seem to already know about these apes. Well, the thing with the apes is, they eventually do die. They get old and die, and what I really want to do is see if we can find an old one. And speaking of die, bunny, there we go. What I really want to try and do is find an old one. And if we can find an old one that we can attack and poison repeatedly, and like basically hit and then flee, then I want to try and take it out. So that will come as a very secondary goal, but I just want to know if it's possible. And we did have Kravankir mutated in the normal hind legs, the normal ones, not the webbed ones, and then has lean body, he has poison fang, he has a lot of great traits. So what we're actually going to do is we're going to try and bring Kravankir down here to breed with little Colossi, because Colossi has a lot of good traits that we want to try and keep in as well. So we're going to be working with Colossi, but we definitely want to try and get him over here to do some breeding. And then in the meantime, we are going to move our shadowy little Anako. Oops, and that bunny got too close. So goodbye, bunny. You are going to be food in this time of drought. So Anako, we're going to breed, and then she can move here. And then Kuro can gather up some of these berries, and Anais can also help gather up some of these berries. So our ideal creature too has horns or ram horns or antlers, has the big ears, which I don't believe we're trying to mutate in just yet. We haven't even unlocked them. In fact, that's another reason we got to linger around, is because we're waiting for this regrowing grass tile right here next to the carnivore to grow in about 8 more times. So it's going to be a while before we can go to the jungle, because we want to unlock those medium ears, and we may not have the chance to do that on a jungle island. So we do want to keep that in mind as well. We want to have the medium, or the large ears. We want to have poison fangs. We want to have lean body, runner legs, and we'll work on mutating in claws and the nimble fingers once we actually get to the jungle, because speed will probably be more important. And then we want normal hind legs. The eyesight is pretty good, and then we want this stinky tail. And of course we don't want hemophilia. We also don't want melanism and albinism. Ideally, I would like to keep some of those traits in there, so every once in a while we might have one pop up that we can at least look at, but they're going to be a major hindrance in the jungle, so we definitely don't want to keep them in. We don't want them in full force. If one pops up every now and then, that's fine. Hopefully the creature won't die immediately, but yeah. We don't normally, like, we want to keep them, but we don't want them dominating, basically. And I want to come down here. I'm just going to try and see. I'm going to actually move him here. I want those fish to come to us. Yes. No. Dang it. Dang it. Let's see. So we're just going to do a few turns. We might not have a full-length episode this time, though. We'll have to see. Maybe it will be a full-length, but we definitely, I'm going to leave the results of that poll up to the weekend. And up over the weekend. So there we go. And we're going to continue to explore with a lot of our creatures here. We do have a patch of jungle over here, so I'm hoping that's not going to release anything nasty. Because technically, since we do have a patch of jungle, we do have the ability to have the apes show up. And if one of the apes shows up here, oh, we're kind of donezo. Now, if I did go into the playing, oh dear, and we have lost our breeding male here, but if I did go into playing on my own and an ape showed up, I would definitely save that for you guys the second I notice it. So, with that in mind, let's go ahead and start a new day. Oh dear. Oh, I was hoping he would not hit Takuro. But we did manage to take him out. That's good. And now everything has grown back. That's excellent. Now, what I do want to do is I'm going to keep moving this guy, Kirvankir. Going to keep him moving this way because we want to get him down to this island. A bunny has spawned. It's kind of just sitting there, and I bet Colossi... Well, I don't really want to move Colossi, though. Ramila can actually not apparently dig there. Can we actually smell? No, we can't smell what's under there. But I'm going to send someone. I want to send someone to get that bunny. But, oh, now it's moving. There's actually nothing it could gather, though. Oh, here we go. We'll get the bunny eventually. So I'm actually going to move Tanu, who's unfortunately sick, out, and we'll breed Isis and Tarota again. And let's see. Make sure we gather up a lot of food. The more food we have, the better too, because that is one thing we don't have to be concerned about when we go to the jungle island. The more food we have, the less we have to worry about food right away, and the more we can focus on just getting set up and established and making sure we're not going to have predators coming out the wazoo, basically. So the more food we have, the more time we have, basically. Food pretty much translates to time in this game. The more time we have before we have to find a permanent food source and settle down. Alright, let's gather these up. You can help gather a few as well. And then let's see who we have here. Oh dear, we have a Crackerjaw. Now that is kind of... It can be good or can be bad. So we did... Oh, who has blind eyes? Lara, dang it. So Cease is not someone we want to be breeding, probably. Even though she did mutate in Lean Body, technically... Lara can already pass on the Lean Body. So we're actually going to breed them, and then I'm going to put a nest right there. And then I'm going to gather up these clams. And it seems like we are going up in the amount of food we have. And I'm going to gather this clam, and we'll actually move here. Oh, Mystera, though, is going to die, unfortunately. Oh! Seiko, you need to come out now. Oh, Seiko! Okay, I think your head is above water now. Oh gosh, okay. Sorry, I didn't realize how deep you guys were, and that was going to be an issue. Okay, well, we know we can't have them in as deep as we thought we could. And we're still waiting for Colossi. And we're basically just trying to get some good genetics bred in at this point. But that is time consuming. We'll gather up some nesting material. Never hurts to have nesting material on hand. And let's come over here. We can fish these fish. We'll gather that up. And we will gather these acorns up. And continue exploring. Taro. Okay, you can come over here and help. You can keep gathering this. We're going to keep exploring. We're definitely going to expand out this way. And then I'm going to keep expanding this way. And we will gather this up. And then a Nasi can actually kill this mole. And then we'll move. So, Honorella is very, very good. She's a very good creature. We're actually going to save her for breeding. We're going to have her breed at some point, and then Anako can come and breed with Kuro. And then who is this new one? Race. Okay. Race has decent genetics, but nothing notable enough to make me want her to be a breeding animal. We're trying to breed just the best of the best animals now. And even though Honorella, the one thing she doesn't have going for her is this melanism, if we breed her with someone who doesn't have melanism, none of the babies will have melanism. So it can work out still. Let's see. And we'll make sure we get that gathered up again, because definitely want to get those grass tiles explored. It counts as an exploration every time. Probably something that I would hope they would fix, because that shouldn't be an issue. So we have 6 more times that we have to do that minimum before we can move on to the next island. There's quite a bit of regrowing. There's literally 5 patches of regrowing grass here. That's amazing. And I think that pretty much is going to wrap up our turn. So I will leave that poll going, and depending on how the results look, I may start playing over the weekend unless you guys really want to see it step by step. But if not, I think we'll actually wrap up for today. It is a little bit of a short episode, but yeah, because I want to leave that option open, because we can get stuff done. Basically, it's a trade-off between getting stuff done quickly and you guys seeing literally every step that I do, versus me just kind of summarizing the approach I took. So let me know what you want to see with that. Other than that, I will see you guys next time, but until then, this is Jay, over and out.